Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Accel Booster form. This is the form that he got in his special DVD movie, and this figure is also a web exclusive. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the box. It's done in this really obnoxious yellow color. I feel like there's been another figure art that was in this yellow color or some kind of similar obnoxious situation. I just can't think of what it was. But yeah, it's obnoxious yellow color, and then you got a picture of Accel Booster in gray. And then this is his name in black here. On the top, his name in black again. Same deal on the sides. And on the back, it just shows him some coolio poses and stuff you can get him with, and a picture of him with all his accessories. And it shows the fact that it comes with an alternative Accel head for your Kamen Rider Accel, like, regular form. So, which actually isn't in the accessory shot. Just realized that. So you get a bunch of hands. You get this kind of posed, pointing-ish hand. You got his thumbs up or down hand. It's mainly usually down, but and then you have his like holding weapon hands. And then you have that's holding weapon hands as well. And then you have like a holding engine blade hand. And then you have a fist. The fists that come on him, I switched one out for a holding engine blade hand. And then you've got these kind of relaxed hands. And then the engine blade, which I'll show off in a second. Here's the alternative Accel head. As you can see, very nicely detailed. I will swap that out with my original one at the end of the review. And then here is the engine blade, the same one we've gotten with both Accel releases and Cyclone Accel Extreme. Was it Cyclone Accel Extreme we get him? I don't even know. Cyclone Accel Extreme didn't come with one, I don't think. I think I just gave mine one. But so very nicely detailed, and it even does that, which is cool. So now we take a look at the figure itself. This is kind of interesting for me. Okay, so the head sculpt isn't bad. Like, it looks decent enough. Like, especially in certain angles, it looks pretty cool. You got the gray paint here. The gold's done really well. But there's just something about it that looks funny to me. It just looks a little cheap, like, in person for some reason to me. And then also it looks a little skinny, especially for his body. So, like, in certain angles it can look really cool, but in others it just looks weird. It also might have something to do. Excuse me. It also might have something to do with the fact that it's just this silver gray paint instead of like a compound, which might just seem odd to me. Like, it catches the light good, like right there, but sometimes it just looks odd. And then his chest here is all this like giant, like silver black piece. It's really big. That's my only other complaint really about the design of the figure is I wish this could be a little bit smaller. Like, if you look at the picture here, it's not quite as puffed out as it seems here. And this just kind of creates this proportion issue I have. Like, these are really minor nitpicks, but between his slightly narrow-looking head and then this, it just looks kind of odd. His shoulder pads are nice, and all of the gold color on his arms are fine. And his belt, as you can see here, this is supposed to be the Gaia Memory. Let's see, I can take it off. This is the Gaia Memory, like, upgrader. And it sticks on there like that. So that's what's going on there. Let me put this back on. Sorry, mislined it up. There we go. And then the rest of him is all this nice gold paint. It's kind of this, like, goldish yellow paint, rather. It's just, it looks pretty nice. They did a good job on it. His legs kind of got these booster things on him, which look cool. There's the back of him. He's got his booster turbines, which look good. Overall, like, he's, other than like those few problems I have with him, his like overall paint job is really well done. Articulation wise, 360 articulation here on the ball joint, swiveling here, double elbow joint, swiveling at the fist. He does have the waist and hip joints, or like, no, like the articulation here and here basically, but they are hindered both by this giant like chest piece and then by this Gaia Memory extender clashing with this. But like, I suppose you could take that off if you really don't want to hinder it that much. 360 leg joint here, swiveling, double knee joint, swiveling at the foot, and then the toe action. So he's the same exact base mold as the other two Accels, but he just got a few articulation hindrances just because of the way his armor is. But overall, he's a pretty solid figure. Like, I think this form looks cool. I don't hate it or anything. I think it looks pretty nice. It was cool in the movie. It's just something, there's something odd about the figure for me. I just can't quite put my finger on it. like with the way the head looks kind of small, and then the weird like leg issue, chest issue. So just something happens for me where it just looks kind of odd. But other than that, like all of his joints are very tight. No problems with looseness. It's a very solid figure. It looks good on the shelf with the others. Here we have original Accel here with his original helmet. And I guess I'll take them both off and do a comparison. Nope. So I'll take this original head off. It comes off semi-easy. So here's the original Accel head and the new one. As you can see, it's taken on more of a skinny design. I guess this is to be a little more accurate. Something that I didn't notice, somebody pointed it out, and then Brian mentioned it, that this kind of looks like a Mario-ish mustache, which I never noticed at all until someone mentioned it. But so as you can see, it's quite a bit smaller. So now we will put it on to see how it looks. Let me get it to actually go on. I'm having kind of a hard time with these. Oh, damn it. I just hate these things. Okay, so there we have the new Accel head. And it does look quite a bit cooler. Like, I can see that, definitely. It looks a little more striker, it looks a little sleeker. So that's cool. It's nice that they did that. I like the idea of them updating figures if they realize they did something wrong. I actually don't think this was a terrible head, but I can see it. Cool. So overall, like with most exclusives, it just basically comes down to whether you like the figure, the form or the character enough. So if you're a huge fan of Accel or this form in particular, then it's a very solid figure. Definitely not as glaring problems I've found with other figures, so I can recommend it in that sense, but it really does all come down to your personal taste. But I can say that I have a few minor problems with design choices, but other than that, he's a very solid, nice figure. So until next time, make sure you check out writersrangersrambles.com for token news in the craziest way possible, and while you're there, make sure you check out the Ram boards to discuss anything Toko or nerd related, and of course the crazy podcast that started it all. Until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.